park in a different part of the parking lot due to the fact of the lighting and stuff. I didn't really like the way I was like kind of glowing. I had that kind of film quality. So I wanted to make sure that I'm able to be seen. I wanted to kind of do I'm still trying to figure out where I want to be in the parking lot, if you know what I mean. Happy Sunday, August 2nd, YouTube. How you doing out there? Loud Italian here. It's good to see you. Talking about the 21st century driver. 21st century driver. How we doing? The behaviors and stuff that I see in the fall or in the summertime versus the fall. We got the aggressive drivers. We got the angry drivers. We got the passive drivers. We have the pleasant drivers. I'm more of a pleasant driver, a turtle driver. You've seen the emojis in the part of my thumbnail, right? I'm gonna do my best not to say the word right because I don't like it. I'm not a fan. I'm trying to get better, YouTube. I'm doing what I can to get better. I don't even like the word try. I'm one that's trying to get better at his conversations and like the communications and that sort of thing. That sort of thing I've also noticed that I say a lot. I'm gonna wait for chat to populate. It's Sunday. I'm gonna provide a world-class service. Tomorrow's my Monday. It's good to see everyone out there. How are you? If you're waking up, thank you for joining me. How's it going? Anyway, yeah, well, I guess we'll just get started. Loud Italian here. It's good to see you. Talking about the 21st century driver. You ever notice like the way people drive in the summertime and in the fall? It's like it's quite different, if you know what I mean. The drivers out there and that experience, and like, oh my goodness, who's gonna bother me today? Who's gonna go too fast in one lane and too slow in another? And there's just never that happy medium, if you know what I mean. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, August 2nd. Good to see you. Grassy, hey, how you doing out there? It's good to see you. How are you? Talking about that 21st century driver. And I would absolutely love, good to see you. Awesome, glad that you're well. I would actually love to see someone, kind of wave at you. Definitely when you let someone in the lane, I let someone in the lane. I'm very courteous on the road. I'm in the slow lane most of the time. Today it was Sunday, so I didn't have a lot of people on the road. I drive to work in the morning, 5 days a week, and it takes me about 30 minutes to get to and to get home. So about an hour round trip. So I have a lot of time to kind of process the way I feel and the behaviors, the self-awareness I have and the observations I have about others on the road. I wanted to kind of discuss that with you today. Kind of laugh at my pain. You can kind of understand this sort of thing, but it's like those summertime drivers versus the fall time drivers. The summertime drivers are, they tend to drive a little too fast. They're like Vin Diesel and Fast and the Furious or something, and they're going super super fast. And you're like, that's why I'm never in the fast lane, because there's always someone behind me. I get that pressure. And then I notice that these, like, the electric cars, not mine specifically, but like the Teslas and that sort of thing, they get bullied on the road. No one really takes them seriously. The Cybertrucks, it looks like a Pablo Picasso painting on four wheels. There's these scalene triangles. They're all triangles. I don't know what to look at. I don't know whether to look at it or like read it as like art on the wall. It's it's interesting. I don't get it. I don't understand that vehicle. You ever kind of wonder what's going on in that driver's mind and they're driving that vehicle? That vehicle costs 80 grand. 80 grand starting. That's not even with the bells and whistles and stuff. That's not fully loaded. That's basics. I don't know. Like I don't know whether to, and it doesn't really park. It doesn't park well either. It's very awkward to park in a Tesla truck. I've never been in one. I don't really understand what I'm looking at. If I'm confused when I'm looking at it, I'm not gonna ride in it. You know what I mean? I'm just not gonna do that. It's a slippery slope. Is what happens. It's a slippery slope. And that's not a line I'm gonna cross. I'm not a line I'm gonna cross in that. I'm not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So um, we're covering those drivers and stuff, right? Oh, you're back. Okay. Good to see you. Yeah, it's good to see you. How are you? Talking about those drivers and stuff, right? Um, doing what I can not to say right. It bothers me. Does it bother you out there? Hey, Cordafin, good to see you. I do believe you're new. Grassy, I think you're new. I would remember that beautiful color you chose for your icon on the page. That's fantastic. I'm glad. I don't want to go over like 25 minutes because I'm afraid that the phone's gonna die on me. Let me know the quality is there. Let me know you can hear me. I got the noise canceling light on, the yellow light, and I have the mic on with the green light. I'm rocking that DJI mic mini. Um, so I'm a big fan of it. No windscreen needed because there's no cross breeze. I'm in the car most of the time. So yeah, you ever just kind of notice people's behaviors on the road and you're like, what's going on in their mind? Why would they do that? Why? Especially when they park. Um, the drivers, right? On the city, in the freeway, on the freeway, right? They're in the summertime. It's they have visibility. They can see, but it's like hot and it's uncomfortable, and they're racing to get to somewhere. And I'm like, maybe you ever make up a story for the person that's like that's upsetting you on the road, and you just have to see who that person is if they're passing you, and you're like, I wonder who this person is and what are they doing? Are they on their phone? Are they listening to music and they've got like earphones on, the one that goes up and over with the ear cups? Do they have the AirPods in? Do they have one popped out? Why are they listening to both? I got to be able to listen. I got to be able to listen to what's going on around me. I'm paying attention. I'm trying to get to somewhere safe. I like when you do the drawing time. Can you provide more information there? And how are you, Malleus, Sun Rival? It's good to see you. Um, some different emojis in here. I usually get the hearts or whatever, but that's cool. I'm not sure which one that is. Let me know. I'm learning. 44-year-old guy here who does these live streams once a day, 30 minutes. There we go with the hearts. It's good to see you. Yeah, let me know what you mean by that. I want to provide a world-class service to you as well, my viewer. I'm Loud Italian, and I go live 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12:30 to 1 Eastern Standard Time, and I'm getting enough information in the data to kind of figure out where I'm landing in terms of like audience and stuff. I'm at like a little less than 3% click rate. So thank you for double clicking on my video and my live stream. I appreciate you. Not sure why I'm winking or I'm squinting. I squint a lot, but I promise you, somewhere in the squinting, I am blinking, and I do see you. So I'm glad you're here. Thank you for taking this trip with me. Thank you for going on this drive with me as we're talking about this stuff. We're about 10 minutes in. And then when we convert from like the and as we're transitioning into from summertime to the fall, people are a little bit nicer on the roads. Have you noticed that? They're sitting a little closer to each other. They're wearing jackets. They've got the heat on. They might put their blinker on. They may let you in the lane ahead of them. You might even get that person that's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I always let people in no matter what season it is. But you ever notice that sort of thing? I notice these things. I notice them. Do you notice them, YouTube? Chat? My viewers out there? Um, we're starting to increase in those likes. That's fantastic. That tells me to keep going, keep talking about what you're talking about. You guys are responding well, so I appreciate you. Happy Sunday, August 2nd. I hope you had a great first day of the month yesterday. I'm kind of fired up here. I'm not as fired up as I was of yesterday, but I'm showing up. I'm showing up. I'm doing the best I can. I'm providing this quality content for you, so enjoy it. Yeah, the people on those roads, they're a little bit nicer and more courteous and stuff. The freeways in the summertime, they speed. There's no blinkers. May clip sides of vehicles. They get right up on you and they get over, even if you're in the slow lane. This happens to me. My favorite sport, I naturally like to play the sports versus watching them. If I watch a sport, it'll be like an extreme sport, something that's not really, it's not in like the Olympics or whatever, but it's like, I do like to watch the skateboard ones and the BMX ones, and sometimes the wolf packs of like the Tour de France and stuff. Those are kind of cool with those road bikes and the spandex that they wear. That's pretty cool. I would rather play the sport than and be interested in the athlete's nutrition and training program and their day-to-day life cycle versus like how they show up on the field and perform their sport, if that makes sense. So yeah, I usually watch my kids play. One of them's in cross country and the other one's into soccer. My son's into cross country and my daughter's into soccer. So that's kind of where we're at. We're transitioning into the school year. They go back to school on the 13th. So yeah, those freeways, right? And anytime I'm on the freeway and I see a monster truck behind me, I'm getting over. I don't care who it is. The Teslas and stuff, right? There's so many of them all the time. No one really takes them seriously. I don't really take them all that serious. And if they're on the back roads and stuff too, I'm going to try to avoid them whenever I can. I'm going to pull over for safety because I'm pretty sure they don't know where they are, what they're doing, where they're going. They're confused, especially in the winter time. If there's snow. I live at the snow line and stuff, so I deal with the snow, and I do my best not to take other roads, back roads and stuff. So people who are in the chain control seasons and stuff, I'm going around them. I'm planning it out. I'm planning it out. So like a decision commitment, like Odysseus did in the Odyssey when he had his men tie him up against the mast, and all the other men ended up jumping out because they couldn't resist the siren's song. I can do that. I love that scene, that the meaning behind that. I was listening to a podcast today, Ryan Holiday. Any Ryan Holiday fans out there? I'm kind of like catching up, or I'll like watch ones on leadership or whatever. He had one on stoic lessons on the Odysseus or the Odyssey, and there was so many siren songs that were playing on my way here. I resisted. I had my coffee. I resisted the urge, the desire to go and buy a coffee, and it's too expensive anyway. So I'm gonna bring my own. I wanted to buy something at a department store. I resisted the siren song. I kept driving, and I got here. I'm one of the only people who I work with, like that see me, and I get to places a lot earlier, and I'm intentional about what I do. I have a meaning for what I do always, most of the time. I'd say about 90% of the time. 9 out of 10 decisions of mine are methodical and intentional, and I think about what I say and I do and how I act, my general behavior on the roadway too. I'm going to movies to see Spider-Man Brand New Day. Oh, that's awesome. Enjoy yourself. Let me know how that is. No spoilers. I'm going to go check that out on Wednesday. That's fantastic. Yeah, enjoy yourself. Have fun out there. And like, subscribe, enable notifications, and ring the bell if you haven't already, and pass this on to the others. And if you find yourself waiting there, hopefully they get you some popcorn. Hopefully they fill it up with butter. My place, you got to add your own butter to it. I'm not a fan of that. And I'm at that point in my life where I can't eat movie theater popcorn because it bothers my system, because of how fine-tuned my system is nutritionally. So I got to make my own popcorn. I got to air pop my own. I hope you're able to enjoy that. Have fun with your friends. Have an exciting time. Go have lunch afterwards or dinner. You have those dinner movie crews and stuff. That's great. I have that. I'm always paying for the meal at the end of the movie. One guy buys the movie tickets and the other one gets the concession foods, or if anything. So we all have a contribution. It's always good to lay out those expectations first, so there's no surprises. It's only courtesy. It's only courteous. Am I right? Uh, and then there's there are cops and stuff on the road on the freeways, I've noticed. There's one of them that I noticed, these like law enforcement behaviors and stuff. Like, I have my GPS on, and it will tell me like there's a cop that's up ahead that's been reported, and it'll tell me if the cop is still there, and it'll say yes or no. I find myself saying no even if they're there. Do you do that? I do that. And I used to, and it was like, and it says thank you for helping others, but I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like I'm helping others. I think I'm helping others if I say the opposite. So I hit no. And I get some excitement out of that, and it makes me feel good because I'm on the road and I'm paying attention. I'm doing what I can. I'm trying to lead by example, using my blinkers when I can. When I'm behind a vehicle, I'll intentionally go behind a vehicle that's going like 60 miles on the hour just because I want to. Sometimes I'll wait in line. I'll pick the longest line on purpose to work on my own discipline. If I have a pack of gum, or I'm on the freeway, I don't have a full bladder, and I'm intentional. I'll wait behind a service vehicle. I mean, and I did this with the Jeep. There was this Jeep that was going like 60 miles, 55 miles on the freeway, and they were going up the hill when I was heading home. And I was like, I'm going to stick behind this person. I'm going to give him a good distance. I have that green icon on my car, so there's that follow distance that's comfortable. And I just stayed there. I committed to my commitment. I was committed. Maybe commit me to that commitment. But hear me out here. I was behind that vehicle, and I was just, I'm gonna do this. And then there was another guy behind me, and I broke him. I broke that driver behind me. I won. You ever get in a game with someone on the road? If it's city or if it's on a freeway, yeah, and you're like, and you're going that same way, and they're going to be going forever, and you got that other person behind you, and they're doing the same thing, and you're like, I'm gonna hang out longer than the person behind me, and then you win. It's a great feeling. Trophy unlocked. Trophy unlocked. Achievement unlocked. Fantastic, right? You've exercised that discipline in daily life. It's fantastic. It's a good feeling when that happens. Um, And there's this motorcycle cop. There's this MVP. Hey, how you doing out there? This motorcycle cop on the roadway that is always pulling people over. He's like the MVP of his precinct. his department, and he's always out there. He always has someone that's gone too fast, and I respect that. You ever you ever respect some of the law enforcement on the road and like, I like the way they parked. I like the way they pulled over and they're like right there on the side so you can't quite see them. You don't think they're there, but they are. Especially early mornings, they're like ghosts and then they catch you and I'm like, oh man, and those other cars are going super, super fast. And I was like, they don't really get caught. Eventually they will get caught. Eventually they will. And there's nothing more satisfying when you're doing the right thing and you look over and you see someone else that finally gets theirs. Come on, that's funny. Um, that's and then school zones and stuff, right? School zones and intersections, the school zones, parents who drive fast. I'm one that kind of slows down. I've been guilty of it in the past. I was like, you know what, Loud Italian, you could do better than that. Ryan, you can do better than that. So I'm, and I got my kids in the back, or I'm dropping them off. I'm not gonna park on the lanes of the crosswalks. You got to set a good example for the kids out there. The parent pickup drop off zones. It's not a place for like vehicles at an airport. It's just not. You want to drop them off. You want to pick them up. If you're gonna stay there a while, then go park or get there earlier and walk in. Wait for your child. Grab your child's hand. Walk them across the street. It's always a good time to be safe, to evaluate the safety and teach it to your child. I do with mine. I have them get on the if I park up and it's on the right hand side, they know to file out on that right hand side. They don't get out on my side. If we're walking on the road and it's busy, I'm on the outside of the lane and they're on the inside where it's protected. I think about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So that's important. I wanted to cover that. And moderators are on for safety reasons. We're 22 minutes in. I'm not trying to waste your time. And I think this is going a little bit better than I anticipated. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. Hey, how you doing out there, Fran Fan 1? Good to see you. I'm Loud Italian. Talking about drivers in that 21st century. And the behaviors that I notice on the roadway. You ever notice people's behaviors on the roadway? And they're like, what's going on with that person? And sometimes it just makes sense. And you're like, yep, that makes sense. I'm going to be better than that person. I'm going to be better. I wonder, right? When you're at an intersection, you're at an uncontrolled intersection or the lights blinking and it's like under, like there's weather or something that happens and everything shuts down. And the people are like, they don't know what to do. They're confused. Let me help you out here. The person on the right, they go first. The person on the right goes first. And generally, they don't know what's going on and they want to go. And then you end up playing this like chicken game to where your cars eventually get closer and closer together. And it's like, we don't need to do that. Person on the right goes, and then I'll go. Wave them. I'm always waving people in. I put my blinker on intentionally. That's why we have them, I think. There's a lot of people who don't use blinkers. So even the law enforcement out there who is supposed to set a good example, but every once in a while, there's one of those cops who do use their blinkers, and I appreciate you. If you're law enforcement or have family that in law enforcement and you use the blinkers, thank you. I appreciate you. And I respect you and what you do. I really do. I'm one of those people you don't need to worry about. I'm part of the solution, not the problem. All right. So, and then you kind of get close, right? And the people that are listening to music and stuff, right? And it's the loud, angry music most of the time. I want to hear someone sing, I want to hear someone like have their speakers on and they're blazing some Broadway musicals, some Mamma Mia, some West Side Story, some 50s, 60s rock and roll, something I can enjoy with you. I mean, it doesn't have to be like angry music. It doesn't have to be that way. We don't have to get to that level. But everyone seems to, and then they drive in the way that they listen to their music too. It kind of follows form fits function. I want to hear classical music. I want to hear something that I can learn from. Like I would rather you blaze a podcast of something that I can learn instead of something I'm like, oh man, I need to get my headphones on, my noise canceling headphones, so I don't hear what you're playing. I'm just not a fan. Um, so I would love that. And when we're crossing those intersections and stuff, let's not block it. Let's keep it empty. Let's keep that crossway exits open for a reason, for emergency exits and stuff, right? Um, the ambulances and the fire trucks and the cops and all of the people that are trying to get by. So, oh, you're back from the last stream. Hey, how you doing there, 7457? How are you? Good to see you. Happy August 2nd. In my mind, I'm still thinking July, but I have to say August. And I actually write it down on my notes, and I take notes, and I'm old school with the notes, pen and paper. 6:30 a.m. West Coast time, Pacific Standard Time. I'm writing my notes. I was excited. I'm trying to stay on track here. We're at 26 minutes. Um, and I'm covering a lot of ground, traveling distance over time. So, uh, anyway, so I'm not going to cover. I covered a little bit of the back trucks. I covered the school zones. Not blocking intersections and stuff, using blinkers, being intentional with what you're doing, why you're doing it, and where you're doing it. That's important. I gotta leave in a few because I'm going to a pool party. Awesome. We got a pool party here. We got someone to go see Spider-Man Brand New Day. You guys are doing stuff. That's awesome. And I gotta work. I'm a part-time worker and I'm gonna go provide that world-class service. Definitely needed on a Sunday. Things get crazy here on a Sunday. People are buying barbecue stuff and doing all this. And if you're wondering who does those premium displays, if you're wondering who makes that member laughs, or just really accomplishing something, and they're having like a world-class service, hospitality so great it's unreasonable, it's me. It's Loud Italian. And then a lot of them are like, you should have your own YouTube channel. I was like, you know what though? I kind of do already. Kind of do. It makes sense. So anyway, enjoy that. Enjoy that pool party. Enjoy that movie. Whatever you're doing today, enjoy yourself. It's important. You're above ground. It's a good day. It's above. You were given another day. Let's make it count. Um, and let's see. The windshield wipers in the wintertime. I love the wintertime months when I'm sitting there at a light and you get that like white noise and you get that lovely sound of the windshield wipers going back and forth. Almost puts you in like a sleep state, right? And you're just like, and it's just, you're there and it's like, right? And it goes back and forth and it's like, it relaxes you in a way. And then you get the pitter patter. You get the pitter patter of the rain on the windows, right? On your windshield. It's fantastic when you get that rain matched with the windshield wipers, and it puts you in that like relaxed mood, right? I almost said mode, but yeah, it's so it relaxes you in a way. You don't get that same treatment. Like I'm baking right now in our parking lot. I got to get out because I'm having difficulty breathing. Or 29 minutes in, so yeah, it's just that different feeling you get. Heat on versus the air conditioning. 9 o'clock in the morning in the summertime, it's 90 degrees. It's hot. I don't want to start my day in a bad mood, so I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go do my walk. I'm gonna relax a little bit and then get into my zone mentally, so I'm able to perform the top of my ability. So yeah, it's comfy and cozy in the wintertime, but not so much. It's hostile, it's uncomfortable. People are a little bit more short or irritable with each other. People are yelling at couples are yelling back and forth. in the summertime. Winter, they're cozy. They got, they got it like a blanket on, especially as you get older. You can never get warm enough. So you got that like electric blanket, or you got the heating seats and the air conditioning seats. It's really nice in the truck, but sometimes I forget that it's there. Um, and yeah, that's it. That's about all I have. I'm Loud Italian. Thank you for joining me. We talked about the 21st century driver. We talked about freeways. We talked about city streets. We talked about back roads and intersections. We talked about school zones and behaviors and angry drivers and Tesla trucks that I don't quite understand, Tesla cars that we bully on the road because people don't take them seriously, how I feel about driving on the road. So we covered everything today. Thank you for joining me. 7457. Enjoy your day. Thank you, Nate. They're great. Good to see you. Brassy, enjoy that movie. Sun Rival, take care. Corfin, thank you. It's good to see you. And I'm Loud Italian. Thank you so much. You can reach me at YouTube's official page, YouTube/@louditalian, underscore between the two, and it's a 0 instead of an O. And so like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell. We're growing together, and I appreciate you. Thank you for double clicking on my video. I appreciated you. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I enjoyed myself, and I look forward to seeing you again. Hopefully I see you in chat. I hope you have a great day, evening, night, wherever you are in the world. Enjoy yourselves. You're amazing. I'm in your corner. So you're not alone. We're not alone. We're trying to we're finding that tribe. We're growing together. So that's what matters. That's what matters. We's greater than me. So yeah, I'm Loud Italian. I go live 9:30 to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12:30 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. Most days, I'll let you know if it changes. You reach out to me with a comment or an emoji. I'll answer you. I'll reply you with the comment and an emoji in return. I'm the real deal. And as always, thank you. This isn't goodbye, it's see you later, because goodbye is something you say to someone you don't want to see again, which I'm never going to say to you. I'm going to say see you later.